What is up, y'all? Welcome to a new episode of The What? My name is Eric, and thank you guys for joining, listening, watching, however you're consuming this. I want to say thank you guys for the support. This is episode 4 of season 2. This episode, I am trying to get over a little bit of sickness, so if you hear me sound, kind of messed up, it's because I'm sick, and I'm not on camera because I look crazy from my sickness. So no visuals today for this episode. But yeah, just wanted to give you guys something though. Wanted to give you guys something for this week because last week a little bit of a snowstorm, which kind of messed me up in terms of recording, so I wasn't able to. But yeah, this week sickness tried to overcome me, but we're back, and I will make it through this episode. But yeah, let's get a few trailers to discuss. Wanted to talk about the recent verses that happened with Hit Boy and Mike Will Made It. Get into that. We'll get into some of the winners of the Grammys and a little bit of my thoughts of the Grammys. And then I want to get into J. Cole's most recent release, the Birthday Blizzard mixtape that he did right before he's ready to drop The Fall Off, which I think, does that come out this week? Yeah, The Fall Off comes out this Friday. Take a little bit of a break, and then we will get right into it. See you guys in a little bit. Welcome back to the show. The first trailer I wanted to discuss was actually the Invincible Season 4 trailer that recently released. And just wanted to give you guys my thoughts on that. I enjoyed what I saw. We definitely saw, if you watch Season 3, and I'll give a little bit of spoilers in my trailer review, but some of the blowback from the Angstrom Cloud fight, the whole Conquest fight, the whole Invincible War, all that, you see basically see the aftermath of what happens from those events. You see Mark after his fight with Conquest, where he got his legs injured, he had his arm injured. You see robot parts covering those limbs where he was injured. So the assumption is that those are helping him heal. So yeah, especially after that fight, because the fight was crazy. It just shows like new villains. It shows Marcus having distrust for Cecil, and of course, with what Cecil did with keeping Conquest alive. And if you read some of the comic, you would know how that storyline goes. But we know that by the end of season 3, Conquest was kept alive, and those are gonna have consequences without giving too much away. And those reflect in the season 4 trailer, even if you don't realize it. I read the comic, so I saw the reflection of, the return of Conquest. You also saw Nolan and Alan land on Earth after being in the whole Viltrumite ship. Nolan was captured, and Alan had to save him. They land on Earth, and they're basically trying to recruit Mark and anyone else they can for the Viltrumite War. They're working for the Coalition of Planets, and they're trying to get everyone ready for the Viltrumite War. Which leads me to, which if you listen to my anticipation of season 4, the little anticipation of review that I did, I said that Thrag was coming. And by golly gosh, Thrag is here. We see him at the end of the trailer. Leave no one alive, which I won't reveal who he's talking to. But he's talking to someone that is very powerful. But this very powerful individual is scared of Thrag, obviously. And we get the big bad. If you don't already know, Thrag he's that guy. So his reveal is basically saying that we are coming to a conclusion soon. Not saying this is the last season, but I do believe next season will be the last season for Invincible. But yeah, basically that's everything I saw in the trailer. I'm excited for the season, which season 4 comes out March 18th. I will definitely be watching that, reviewing that. I don't want to do an episode by episode review. I'll just watch the whole thing. Well, the whole thing's not going to come out. Obviously, they want to do week to week, but last episode, whatever week that is, I'm going to watch it. Boom, review the whole series. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. The next trailer that I watched was the new Michael Jackson trailer. The movie's titled Michael, but it's the Michael Jackson movie. The newest trailer for that. This trailer was more in depth. First of all, I will say that I do not like this old teaser trailer, and then here's the real trailer. Just give us the trailer. Just give us the trailer. Give us the TV spots trailer, just to run up the views on the whole YouTube algorithm. Cool, but I'm tired of the teaser trailer. I'm tired of the whole, here's the teaser trailer, then you have the official trailer, then the official trailer number 2, and it's like, just give us the trailer, and we'll be fine. Please, thank you. But yeah, from this trailer, compared to the first one we saw, which was mainly, we saw Michael, and we didn't see much of anybody else in terms of the big named actors that were supposed to be, we heard were casted for the movie. We finally saw them in this trailer. But yeah, the first one we saw basically showed Michael and, a quick overview of what the movie was going to be about. This one showed more of the origins. This trailer showed more of the origins and showing Joe Jackson, played by Coleman Domingo, and Katherine Jackson, played by Nia Long, who is still alive, which congratulations to her. Obviously, a lot of her family and, past husband passed. Or should I say former husband, Joe Jackson, passed, and we had Michael, we had other Jackson brothers pass, and good to see she's still alive. But yeah, we just saw more in depth of what Michael's going to be going through in terms of the family dynamic, in terms of wanting to be his own artist, and then the struggles of what happens when you become your own artist and when you get to these astronomical heights. in the music industry, and that one I can't wait to see. I think this trailer definitely intrigued me more. The only thing still is kind of his nose. Kind of looks weird with the makeup. Oh, we did see at the end, we got a glimpse of the white Michael. We definitely got a glimpse of the white Michael. He kind of covered the half of his face, but obviously you saw the skin tone. Wasn't the same skin tone as they've shown in the trailer, the first trailer, and then most of the trailer that just came out. So, yeah, we'll probably end up seeing. They'll probably end up showing another official trailer number 3, and then show White Michael. But yeah, so far that's what we've seen. Origin story from childhood with Jackson 5, and then the whole off the wall thriller, all that is going to be explored. And yeah, no release date for that one yet. So just be on the lookout for that. Now, in terms of trailers, that's all I've seen so far. There's probably more, which I will definitely check out and do my review of those. But yeah, I wanted to do a transition over to the music side of things. Recently, Hit Boy and Mike Will Made It did their verses, which, if you're not familiar with verses, it is basically it's like a music battling of two artists and or producers and or songwriters, basically showcasing which songs they think is better than the artist that they're going against, which was, I think, the origin of it. I think it's changed a bit, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But yeah, Hit Boy, Mike Will Made It. My quick assessment of it is I thought it was kind of it was mid. That's what I will say. It was definitely mid in terms of putting on a performance. I think the production value looked cool. They had the big screens behind them. They had each side had their booth, and Serato's playing, and Hit Boy's side, kind of the speakers were kind of low. He was kind of telling them, "Yo, turn my shit up," and that was kind of messed up in terms of technical difficulties. They had a few technical difficulties with the mic and static, which is gonna happen in a live event, so it's whatever. But in terms of the actual battle, I was expecting a battle. I was expecting a versus, and they didn't really give us that. Really, it was just a showcase of their songs. Like, if I wanted to see that, I would just look up Hit Boy and Mike Will Made It songs, put it in my own playlist, and listen to that. Excuse me. I do enjoy both artists. I do enjoy both producers. Excuse me. Both producers. Over the years, they've given us classics, and just listening to it is like, okay, you're putting this song against this song, and that's all right. What songs are actually going up against each other? Because he just played 2-3 songs in a row. Like, there was a moment where Hit Boy, this was after Hit Boy, he played "Feeling Myself" by Nicki and Beyonce, and then Mike Will went against that and played "Throw Some Mo" featuring Nicki with Ray Shremmerd. And then there was after that, Hit Boy just played like three ASAP Rocky songs in a row. Like he played Stay Here for Life, which I thought was a cool move. Okay, he's playing a recent record. The crowd kind of responded, which, by the way, what made this versus kind of mid was the crowd. The crowd wasn't really responding. They had to force the crowd to actually, respond to some of the records. They did it on their own with some of the songs, but it wasn't the right crowd, and that can throw off a versus if the crowd doesn't respond. Um, I think really the baseline for a versus crowd is the Locks versus Dipset. Well, not even just crowd thing, just the whole versus was masterclass on the part of the Locks, obviously. But yeah, getting back to Hit Boy and Mike Will made it. Yeah, it just didn't seem like it had much structure in terms of a battle sense. It was, like I said, it was like a showcase. And it's like, okay, why did you play three ASAP Rocky songs in a row, like I said before? And I think it showed that Mike Will, which I did think Mike Will had the advantage with the type of records his biggest records are strip club songs, booty shaking music. These types of records resonate with the crowd more, especially if there's a lot of women. Like Mike Will, he has, Pour It Up by Rihanna. He got Black Beatles by Ray Shremmerd, Bands Make a Dance, Move That Dope. He's got a lot of songs, No Hands, obviously. Turn Off the Lights, Rack It Up. He just has a lot of songs that just go off in environments where it's gonna play the best, and those records responded more with the crowd than some of the Hit Boy records, which is a little bit why I thought the matchup. I don't think the matchup was the best, too. Mike Will should have been against more of a hit maker, which I can't really decide who I would have put him up against. If I had time, I could think of more, but can't right now. But yeah, overall, it was mid. I think they just need to get back to more of a competitive sense. They need a better crowd, and I think it would start going in a great direction. This could have been it, but it just wasn't. Yeah. Now, the biggest night in terms of the music industry, the Grammys. The Grammys happened. That would have been February 1st. Yeah. Shout out to all of the winners of the Grammys and who. Shout out to. Shout out to all the nominees of the Grammys. And shout out to the winners, of course. Just want to go over some of the winners. Just by this list here. Billie Eilish won for her song Wildflower, which I don't think I've ever heard. She was going up against Sabrina Carpenter, Kendrick and SZA with Luther, Doechii Anxiety, Lady Gaga, Abracadabra, Bad Bunny, DTMF. Yeah, never heard of most of these songs. Record of the year, Kendrick featuring SZA, Luther. Congratulations to them. Um, Basically, a lot of the Song of the Year nominees was for Record of the Year nominee, which I would like to know the difference between Song of the Year and Record of the Year. Seems very redundant. Album of the Year. There's a lot of contenders. You had Justin Bieber with Swag, Sabrina Carpenter with Man's Best Friend, Clips with Let God Settle Them Out, Lady Gaga with Mayhem, Kendrick Lamar with GNX, Leon Thomas with Mutt, and Tyler the Creator with Chromacopia. But of course, Bad Bunny won with The Boy Tara Mas Fotos. Debo, I'm not gonna try to pronounce that. I'm actually gonna cut that out. But yeah, Bad Bunny won Album of the Year, basically most important award. Brand new artist Olivia Dean, which I've heard actually some really good stuff about her. Olivia Dean, I gotta check her out. But yeah, shout out to Olivia. But yeah, shout out to Olivia Dean. I'm gonna definitely check you out and see if you're as good as advertised. Rap category. One of the categories I care about the most. Best rap performance, which basically Kendrick Lamar cleaned up, which he's now the most nominated rapper of all time for Grammys. No, not most nominated, most awarded. He has the most awards. I think he didn't win 26, but he won his 26th Grammy, which passed Jay-Z. So he's just, another notch on your belt, doing your thing. But yeah, basically swept the rap categories with best rap performance. Well, technically Clips won that award, but Kendrick is on the song. But best melodic performance, Kendrick and SZA. Best rap song, Kendrick. Best rap album, Kendrick. So yeah, it was basically Kendrick's to lose in terms of that. Leon Thomas, best R&B album. Mutt won. Congrats to him. I loved that album. I thought it was dope. Now some categories outside of music specifically. Sinners won for best compilation soundtrack for visual media. Best music video, Doechii won that for Anxiety. Best music film, John Williams. But yeah, that was basically the list of Grammy winners that I quote unquote cared about, which I put quotes on it because honestly, I don't care about the Grammys. Do I think the Grammys are important in terms of for the artists and the industry they're in? I think the Grammys are important for them, especially if you're trying to establish yourself in the industry and, want to be as visible as possible and spread your music out there as much as possible. You definitely have to, be in those circles and play the quote unquote games in order to get the Grammy and benefit from it. So in terms of that, yes, it's important. But if I'm discussing music and bringing up, greatest artist of all time, greatest album, song. The Grammy doesn't register in my mind as something to really bring up because it's something that's it's almost there's politics to it, of course, and it's not something that can be measured in terms of how good a song is just because it won a bunch of Grammys. Um, Now, of course, Kendrick being one of my favorites, he won a bunch of Grammys. Um, I definitely still think they're still trying to make up for the whole Macklemore beat. Good Kid, Mad City, that thing. But also, Kendrick puts out great music. It gets critically acclaimed and it wins awards. So I can't be too mad at that. Yeah, shout out to Kendrick. Last but certainly not least, I wanted to get into this J. Cole mixtape. Um, I thought it was, first of all, straight off the bat, I thought it was great. I thought he sounded hungry. I loved the whole concept of it being a DJ Clue tape. With, if you know a little bit of the history of J. Cole, he's from North Carolina, but he kind of broke as an artist living in New York, living in Queens specifically. I'm pretty sure, yeah, he was living in Queens, and trying to break as an artist, which obviously he ended up doing, signing to Jay-Z and the whole I was about to say Rockefeller, the whole Rock Nation situation. But yeah, so he's kind of bringing back that nostalgia with the whole DJ Clue. If you're even familiar with DJ Clue, and basically, if you were hot in New York, you was on the DJ Clue mixtape, and this was like I said, from like 95, 96 to like early 2000s, like NORE, The LOX, DMX. Like the first couple of guys that was gonna be on the tape was definitely DMX, The LOX, Jay-Z. Like those were the guys that was gonna be first on the tapes. And if you were first, that means you was one of those guys. But yeah, I like J. Cole pulling from that and just rapping. Like, I don't think we appreciate enough, especially someone of J. Cole's stature that doesn't have to do this. He has millions of dollars. He's known as a legend, and just to release a nice, freestyle on some bad boy, old school New York beats that, all the legends that he, looked up to and channeled for this project, all rapped on these beats. I'm trying to think. He rapped on, the first one was Victory by Diddy and Big. The second one, I believe, was no, it was Can I Live. The second one was Can I Live by The LOX and Black Rob. The third beat was I'm snapping. Hopefully the snapping can help me remember. The third beat was Who Shot You by Big. Yeah, it's the snapping helped. Yes, it was Who Shot You. And then the last beat, which was my favorite, with just bars and how he flowed on it, was the Money, Power, Respect beat by The LOX. And me, I'm just going through some of the lyrics because he said a lot. He was definitely not just doing bars, which of course that's dope. I enjoy it, but he was saying a lot in terms of rappers and what they're doing now. Um, I just liked how he was, flowing on the songs. Um, yes, he has seemed to throw shots at a couple rappers. But I don't want to assume that because he did say that he would speak direct if he's throwing shots at you. And whatever you think of the 7-minute drill diss track, he did call out Kendrick. So I don't think he's afraid to say, yo, I'm talking about you, if he wanted to. But then again, he did apologize, so it's up to your interpretation. But when he says things like, the top ain't really what I thought it would be, so I jumped off and landed back at the bottom and restarted at a level where I wasn't regarded as much, just to climb past them again and tell them all to keep up. Like when he's, talking about that and mentioning the whole apology and how certain fans knocked him off a peg and now he feels like he's the underdog again, so he's able to, have a confidence and able to come back and have some hunger for it. Feels like he needs to get this off his chest, which is why he released it. Like he had lines about a lot of rappers make dough, then they prone to lose it for crumbs. Dumb niggas so they sold illusion. Universal distribution, but I own the music. Best nigga still breathing, leaving no confusion. That was on Golden Gooses, which is the second track. Cole seen more beef than the folks at Roof Chris. Teach a man to fish, and the lesson is, without a pole you're useless. Catch my drift, I'm swift. On my toes you doofus. And, just the way he's putting the syllables together and him rapping. Just, all clever. All clever, and I think at this point in his career, he's not going to give us any whack verses. He's not going to do anything trash in terms of lyrics. He may have had a couple bars on air where I can't think of them right now, but something about ice. I think he mentioned ice. He had a bar about ice. I thought wasn't really the best. But no, that last track where he rapped on Money, Power, Respect. It's called 99 Build. He said, I orbit the earth whenever I'm recording a verse. When I'm ready to drop, said he will report on it first. Play my album for the corpse and the hearse. It's so live that the flow can make the rigor mortis on a mortal reverse. I was like, woof. J. Cole. These niggas reckless, trying to disrespect the Lord of the church. Get disconnected from your source just like the cord at your birth. I'm from an alternate dimension. I got lost inside of this one. Now I'm walking around and looking for a portal that works. I'm like, I'm like, yo. Okay. Yeah, that last track, that's where he was like, alright, I can't leave y'all on the bum note. So yeah, he put his all into that last track. He's saying, I fell back, my dog in heaven pushed the Hellcats would tell you. From the beginning, I wonder how could I dodge it. The beef ain't real, so ain't no reason for me to squash it. The game ain't either, so it's easy for me to pause it. With one verse, I dismantle narratives. Your theories get killed. The murder weapon was superior skill. I'm like, yeah, Cole. Alright. You're proving, you're rapping like you're the best. Us giving you that respect of the best. I think we should do it. But personally, I can never give it to you fully because of those events. And you spitting what you're spitting is dope. It's almost like we don't believe you. It's like it's like no sting to it. It's like a snake with no venom. Like, okay, you bit me. I got a little bite on here. It's gonna swell up, but then it goes away. It's nothing. It doesn't mean much, and it doesn't take away from your skill, but it's just certain things. I'm gonna review the album without any bias of what happened, but what happened, and it's hard to not look at it the way it is in terms of you saying that you're gonna kill everybody, this and that. It's like, okay, we get it. Like, I enjoy the raps, but let's not go too far. Especially if I want to put on my Kendrick Stan hat. There's some things that Kendrick should respond to, that if he did respond to, you won't be prepared for that. I promise you. So all these raps is cool. Just don't have your head peeking out for you to get a headshot. That's something you don't want at all. But yes, I enjoyed the EP. Thank you so much, J. Cole, for that. Looking forward to the fall off. February 6th, this Friday. And yeah, that was the episode of The What? Episode 4. Thank you guys for tuning in. And I'm out. Peace.